All right, it is 7 p.m. on Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. We're going to open the administrative board meeting. Roll call, please.
I have trustees Chris Samples.
Here.
Don Talbot.
Here.
Jen Christensen.
Here.
Bill Motisi.
Here.
Nathan Maz.
Here.
Patrick Yarlum.
Here.
President Rick Worm.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabany.
Here.
I Clerk Sandy Monson here. Public Works Supervisor Brett Berkey.
Here.
And Engineer Matt Hansen.
Here.
All right. This is going to be a long one.
It is.
Tonight on the consent agenda.
Do you want to ask them if they want to remove it? Or do you read them first?
At this time, do we?
I have it listed the other way. Would you like me to reverse it for the future?
Yes.
Okay.
Tonight on the consent agenda, we have 11 items. Number 1, April 25th, 2023 administrative board minutes. Number 2, bills payable warrant list dated May 23rd, 2023. Total of $56,427.85. Number 3, outside meeting pay for elected officials, total of $100. Number 4, ordinance number 23-03, an ordinance amending the International Residential Code regarding replacement windows, Village Code Section 8-28. Number 5, resolution number 23-25. A resolution approving and authorizing execution of quote from Xylem Water Solutions USA Incorporated for purchase of UV sensor for wastewater treatment plant. Number 6, resolution number 23-26. A resolution approving a proposal for purchase and installation of a generator from Rush Power Systems LLC. Number 7, resolution number 23-27. A resolution approving and authorizing execution of proposal from Water Quality Investigations for filter media assessment at water treatment plant. Number 8, resolution number 23-16, a resolution approving the intergovernmental agreement by and between the Village of Davis Junction and Ogle County, providing for the joint retention and sharing of expenses for professional auditing services provided by consulting firm GBB in relation to tipping fee payments from the Orchard Hills landfill. Number 9, resolution number 23-17, a resolution approving a professional services agreement with GBB Incorporated for auditing services related to Waste Management's Orchard Hill landfill operations. Number 10, ordinance number 23-04, an ordinance amending the Village of Davis Junction Code of Ordinances regarding standing committees. And number 11, award of maintenance garage driveway replacement project to Stenstrom Excavation and Blacktop Group in the amount of $92,631.00. At this time, do any of the board members wish to remove any of those 11 items for further discussion? No. Entertain the first motion.
I moved to place agenda items 1 through 11 inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as a consent agenda.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to place items 1 through 11 inclusively as the consent agenda. Nathan seconds. Roll call, please.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Motion passes 703. Second motion.
I move to adopt items 1 through 11 inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedure specified in the Illinois Municipal Code.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to adopt items 1 through 11 inclusively as the consent agenda. Nathan seconds. Roll call, please.
Bill,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Motion also passes 703. We do not need item C on the agenda. Under the consent agenda, we'll move on to reports of officers. Under me, so last week we talked about the flagpole. Best we can tell, that flagpole at this point was moved from Village Hall somewhere around 2006, 2007 by Jamie and Brett Weaver. It was one of the 3 flagpoles we had out front. There is concern that it might have been replaced because it was crooked, so I'm still waiting to hear back from our fire chief to figure out if that was replaced as because the flagpole was placed there 7 years prior to the person's memorial 4. So I'm waiting to hear back whether or not if they have documentation showing that it was replaced for a memorial to a firefighter who passed away. So once we get more clarification on that, we'll move forward. So I gotta check with you, make sure Todd's correct number, so yeah, I'll call that.
Okay.
Move on to you.
The only thing I have on there is discussion on Habitat for Humanity. The Habitat for Humanity and the village attorney have reached a purchase and sale agreement. Everybody has no issues with the proposal. So you guys will see that for discussion at the committee meeting in 2 weeks and hopeful for approval in 3 so that Habitat for Humanity can finish their purchase of 117 Prairie Moon. At that point in the discussion in 2 weeks, just a heads up, I would like to talk about building permit fees and things like that we can do to help contribute to that organization to get this house built and that lot built upon. That's all I have.
Brenda?
Yesterday I went to the Ogle County Economic Development meeting. They're working on their bylaws. They're really close. And they're gonna have another meeting in 2 weeks and probably finalize them. They have their non-for-profit ready to go to be approved by the state. So they can get their tax exempt stuff. So that's all I really have.
All right. Matt?
All right, project status report, no activity obviously on the salt shed project. Junction Way reconstruction, Dale says he's about 50% complete with the design and specs on that project. Junction Road path. No activity there. Do we want to keep that on there? Or I don't know when that came up, but
The what?
the Junction Road path, Autumnwood to the south end. I'm not sure how that got on there. It's been on there a while and there's been no activity.
Well, it could be. We probably did talk about it, at one point, replacing
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that has been, must have been.
It's not from northwestern to south.
No, it said Autumnwood to south end.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
replaced the rest going.
Yeah, we did.
We
So,
just
okay,
never
so
went
that's
south.
fine.
Keep it on the list for now.
I believe the goal of that was to combine it with an additional project that we were doing of a
Mhm.
similar
Yeah, something.
background or
Bigger
feature.
asphalt
Well,
project.
the part past, south of, Northwestern is pretty bad, but, I'm not so sure. I can't remember the in between Autumn.
It's got same issues as
Oh,
the other
does it?
side. I mean, it's got cracks through it. I mean, it's,
Keep it on the list.
I would say. yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll keep it on the list. Junction Road, Edson Road seal coating, Helm Civil was the low bid at 62,449.70, and Dale indicated the contracts are here at the village for signature. Is that correct, Sandy?
I have no contracts for signature, but I did have Rick sign one previously and get it back.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's already back to Dale.
When I gave it to him last Friday when he.
Yeah, he probably did this before last Friday for me, gave me the update. Okay. Let's see, Junction Road sidewalk, in front of the fire station and their entrance, pre-construction meeting obviously was last Friday. Forgot to ask him, did the contractor indicate when they were thinking about starting or?
No, he didn't really.
Just hoping something would kick off in a few weeks.
Okay. 72 sidewalks, no activity there. Village hall assessment, we worked up some new layouts for the lot just east of the Dollar General site. I don't know,
Nathan is gonna talk about that underneath him.
Okay.
The agenda, so
That's fine.
I included your layout plans. in the agenda.
That's fine. Yeah, I was hoping you had them in the.
I did.
Good, and then we worked up some layouts and cost estimate for that. Harvest Gun plat 10 ditches, nothing being requested currently. The rebuild downtown and Main Street grant, Sandy asked, I did reach out to our grants person. They're still plugging away on the grant agreements, so it's coming, but no definitive date yet on when we're gonna have it, so. But we do have the sanitary sewer water main plans done and permit applications. Still working on the traffic study and access, trying to iron that out with IDOT and stuff there. Once we do get it done, preliminary plat's really ready to go to planning and zoning once we once we get firm commitment from IDOT. And then we'll probably set up a meeting here in first part of June to not only go over the commercial building, construction, our design, concepts, but also probably go through those, sanitary sewer water main, plans and get the permit we might as well get the permit applications into the EPA so they can start that review and get that permit to us, so. And then the village, public works garage, concrete driveway replacement, bid opening was on the 10th. Low bidder was Stenstrom Excavating, and Blacktop Group for $92,631. And the award recommendation letter was sent to the village on the 17th.
I believe that was approved on number 11.
Approved?
Yep, it was approved.
That was number 11? Oh, on the other, got approved. I'll let Dale know.
I know it got lost in there.
It's a long one.
Yeah, too many, a lot of items underneath there. And then the last one, is the culvert inspection. Did everybody get a chance to take a look at Eric's, kind of review? Not going through it word by word, but, basically when you take a look at it, obviously the first thing you're looking at is the wing walls. They are pulling apart because obviously they were believed added later and really not attached to the structure or tied into the structure there. But if you look at the pictures, one of the concerns is basically you've got kind of the wing walls there, or the foundation walls for the culvert, and then you've got I-beams that run across there, and then they've got a concrete slab over the I-beams. Those I-beams under, there's a lot of corrosion with it. There's not much of a web and stuff left there. So like Eric said, it really doesn't meet any current design standards. And if you probably looked at it, it's probably at this point a safety issue, and stuff for the amount of traffic and load and stuff that you have going over it. So obviously the recommendation is to really kind of replace that structure with basically a new box culvert, new wing walls and.
Yeah, if you go out there, this is the actual good side. If you go out there and look at it.
How wide is that beam that's separating from?
I think he had in there 11 feet maybe the 11 feet was the length of the beams. Maybe the box might not be that wide, but the beams are 11.
But some ends of the beams, they're so rusted, there's barely anything left.
That's why I was wanting to know how big that was.
It's kind of like anything with those beams. I mean, if you like steel tank, you just got to keep them painted and keep them from corroding.
The one side of the wing that goes out like this, that isn't connected, looks like it's starting to come forward, which looks like how the road is starting to wash out because it left enough room for.
Yep.
You mean right there?
No, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You're right. That's the one that's starting to lean
Right
forward.
Yeah.
And if you just go up it, not that you can in the picture, but if, just up to the left is where the hole is in the road. That this nice new road that we did and.
Yeah, you can see it leaning in that photo.
Yeah.
I did check with the structural guys. They said there's still, plenty of time in this construction season to, really to get it designed, bid and get a contractor in here to get it taken care of before the end of the season.
Do
So
we know how old it is?
I don't know
But
if you
there's
had-
sections of it, so it's like
Okay.
it's been done. I wonder how old the middle section
Right,
is.
that sounds.
It's probably pretty old.
And if everybody remembers, this is basically how we found out that High Road, same exact setup. We had a sinkhole starting on it. It went down underneath there, and found holes in the beam. So this is literally the same scenario with High Road, why we had to replace
All
that.
right, let's stop looking under them.
So.
So inevitably, are we just gonna move forward on at least now figuring out what this is going to entail?
What's that?
I mean, this is something that has to be done this year, right?
Yeah.
Are we all in agreement on that?
It has to be.
So not included in your packet, and Matt's probably gonna get to it, is the bid, or is the estimates on it. Matt did get those to us yesterday.
It was in the packet, wasn't it?
Yeah, the actual,
That wasn't in the packet.
It was
No,
not in the packet. We did not have it.
No, I didn't see it in there. That's.
I saw.
That's what it says.
the,
This is as bad a shape as the other one?
I would say in
I
different,
don't remember.
Yeah, in different ways. I mean, the I-beams on High Road, I mean, I literally could put my hand through the web on the I-beams because they were just full of holes. But,
Do we have any more bridges down there?
no, that should take care of. The next one is the city of Rockford's.
Okay,
I went to look for that one and I couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, you can't see it from, I guess I was looking for something bigger, more. And there's nothing.
not this long.
Yeah, not something that just looks like you're driving over the regular road, and I drove right past it and got down to the next one, and I said, oh, what, did I miss it? But you get underneath there, and there's places you could put your hand through though.
Oh, there is, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you could definitely do that at the one end.
Well,
The
the last one we shut down traffic to for a while, didn't we? The heavy traffic.
I think we might have.
I think we shut it down until we got it
Yeah.
fixed.
We did,
Yeah,
we
I
did,
remember right.
because we asked the farmers to stay off of it
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
We did, yeah. Once you know it's in that bad shape, it becomes a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Right now, one of the biggest issues is there's no good way to really stop the sinkhole that's on the edge of the road, because if you look at that picture, you see coming down from that wing wall on the left, you see that like tan colored stuff in the water. That's actually the stone we tried putting in the sinkhole to fill the sinkhole temporarily, and it just falls
Right through.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was trying to see whether he had a picture where
Fill up
you
that
probably,
culvert, that'd take care of the whole problem.
That's true.
It's an amazing game of Plinko.
Yes.
Sooner or later, dam up the water. We'll just
there's obviously where the beams sit and where the slabs sit, they're, like Brett said, there's areas there where it just allows that soil or base to migrate, basically between the bottom of the slab and the bottom of the I-beams. It's just nothing to stop
There's
it.
nothing there. And then did you want to mention that we don't know yet if that
Oh.
was the dollar? Because-
Oh, yeah, I gotta check on something from Brett. I was looking at the estimate. I need to verify. He and Eric talked about some specific erosion protection on the west side of the culvert. I just want to make sure that we've got all of that accounted for, but,
It's that side, I don't know, do you have? a
No, she's
picture of
got
it?
there should be another picture in there.
Of what?
Is there- one of the sides that shows part of the ditch,
Where the farmer
You keep-
threw all the big
Yeah.
stones in there?
Right
Yeah.
there.
right?
Well,
Okay,
that's the
yeah.
side of the hole, the other.
Scroll up,
side,
is there another picture, Sandy?
yeah, keep going up.
There you
Should
go.
be, there you go.
So this is the west side, and basically to the south of the right side there, that entire section of ditch for, I don't know, probably 15 to 20 feet. You can see what looks like dark areas there. That's actually the bank eroding. So over the years, I'm assuming, I don't know if it's the farmer, I don't know who did it, but put big giant riprap rock in there to try to slow that down. Well, it's actually eroding behind the rock. So there's no way to stop that. So I want to have concrete swale put in south and north, so that water coming down can't erode
Yeah.
any of the soil.
And it's-
And I'm
I'm doing this
And I'm-
again in a couple
And
years.
I'm guessing those,
Their erosion is going to the street.
Right.
Yes.
and I'm guessing those wing walls are probably gonna extend out even further because they've got to
Yeah.
meet certain slope requirements coming off
Yeah,
of
so
them.
if that's the case, that's great, but yeah, either way, we want to stop that erosion because.
But I'll verify that with Eric
I
tomorrow.
appreciate it, thank you.
Yep.
Now,
So-
sorry.
No, go ahead, Chris, go ahead.
Unfortunately, we don't have the money in our budget to do both Junction Way and this and. So the idea is to stall Junction Way for a year, and pick that up next year, have the engineering completed. So that we can do it early for the next fiscal year. Otherwise, we can't really afford it all. We'd be, and it's too much money.
Yeah, because the estimate right now, it's for everything is about 240,000. The construction, we've got it just under 174,000. We put a contingency in there of about 18,000. And then engineering's around 49, and that's including the inspection report. They want to get a soil boring out there, so we got some geotechnical and stuff. And then putting together the plans and bidding, and then we do have some construction inspection and stuff for it as well, so. Part-time inspection, but. I don't think it's gonna take it's not gonna take a long time to do, you know, and stuff. They should be able to get in there, get that demoed out, you know, and stuff, you know, fairly quickly, you know, and stuff. And then it's just, you know, basically forming and pouring the box and wing walls. Yep, yep.
So we're gonna have 2 weeks before our next committee meeting due to the 5th Tuesday of the month. And so if you get me the updated information and whatever
Yep.
agreements you want with Willett Hoffman and everything else before then, we can get that on the committee meeting in 2 weeks and consent agenda to follow.
In 2 weeks, okay.
Yeah.
And I'll check on the erosion.
Thank you.
And Chris, I was looking to you for the rest.
Rest of what?
If we're gonna do that as a project this year, I know that you
Yes,
can ask
yes,
Willett
there-
Hoffman for
yes.
agreements, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I had slightly different numbers than you did, but I'll go back and look for it. Oh, is that what it was? Was I on that? Cause I'm never seeing that.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, they didn't, I think in the first one I sent out to you, they forgot to throw in the geotechnical,
And that would
the
be
boring.
difference in the.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
forwarded you the one from this
All
morning.
right, thanks. It's all right.
Anything further, Matt?
Yes, on the concrete that, you know, you want to pour in there. Those walls that are up there right now will help support and hold the concrete that you pour, correct?
No, everything you see there, Bill, is gonna be gone when
Gonna
we're
be
done.
gone?
Yeah, everything will be gone.
Replaced.
Yep,
If anything, the concrete would help hold up the wall because it's starting to lean pretty good.
Yeah.
It's, uh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This water that flows through there, does that emanate from farmers' fields, getting water in them and?
I don't even know how many acres it drains.
A
there,
lot,
but-
it goes up there. Ways.
Yeah,
there's tile
But
that
yes,
goes down
yes,
there.
Bill.
Okay, so we're gonna work on this as soon as we can, correct? Before, you know,
Yep.
yeah.
yep.
We may not have a choice. It becomes an emergency and you gotta do it anyway, you know?
Kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Once you know it's the liability.
What was that?
I don't remember what I said, Bill. So
Okay, thank you.
Later. So where we at?
Why?
Rick?
So I'm gonna get, I'm gonna get
more than Bill chimed in, so
I'm gonna get Sandy the final cost and engineering agreement in 2 weeks for your next meeting.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Anything further, Matt?
Nope, that's it tonight.
All right, the committees, community development events.
We have the blood drive next Tuesday, May 30th. From 2:30 to 6:30, the bus will be parked in the fire station parking lot. Registration will be inside the fire station. If anybody wants to schedule an appointment, they can text, call, or email me and I can put you on the schedule, or they can scan the code on the posters. There's a QR code on the posters and you can go into our link and schedule one yourself. We have garage sales on June 8th, 9th, and 10th. The 10th being part of our 6-10 days with coinciding with Byron and Stillman Valley. And we will also have electronic recycling on the 10th. What hours are we doing that, Fergie?
10 to 2.
Okay,
10
okay,
a.m. to 2
10 to 2.
Sure.
Okay. So the recycling will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then on
10.
June 10th.
Okay, thanks.
And then we,
Get stuff in-
that night in the park, we will be having, a movie which it will be Aladdin. And that is starting at 7:30. And then on July 3rd, we have our fireworks and then we have our movie following those fireworks. And that is all I have.
If everybody wants to go ahead and put July 3rd on your calendar as your availability to assist for movie and fireworks. Yep, looking at you and you.
And you?
Thank you. I know who's helped or who is able to help.
Are we sticking with the free for all parking?
We can discuss as we get closer.
Okay.
We'll figure it out as we get closer.
She wants to be in control.
It's not fun.
Hasn't that worked well,
the Wentworth Tank parking?
It is not.
It is not fun.
That's why I said we'll discuss as we get closer.
Sandy is charged. She'll tell everybody to go home. Anything further, Jen?
Nope, that's it.
All right, finance.
We don't have any emergency expenditures, right?
No, he didn't.
Think so. So before we get to the discussion of the sign, which I really want to get to, I attended a webinar for, US Department of Transportation for discretionary grants. I thought it would be helpful and if they would give information about discretionary grants. They don't really give you a lot of information, but they do have a new dashboard, which is basically a website where you can put in keywords or activities and search for grants for it. Are you familiar with it?
No.
This is new and it's for apparently rural communities. I
Okay.
presume we're a rural, but
Yep.
who knows what their rules are. On whether or not you're a rural community. I did see something though that the Safe Streets for All. Are you familiar with that at all?
I've seen, I usually I get stuff from MyDOT all the time on those and I open them up and there's some that are more rural in nature, and stuff. A lot of them you can tell are written for urban areas, but
Streets for All or for
Yep.
everybody.
yep.
But that would seem to be that you might be able to get funding for your sidewalk improvements along 72. Rick? Just a thought
Money.
in the future. I'll look into it more, but
Yep.
if you have any information that you could send
I
out
want
to
to
me,
talk
that would be
to Nate
great.
about that afterwards too, about sidewalks.
All right. Works for me.
So you got streets.
Other than that, let's go to the signs now.
Yeah,
Sorry, did you?
No, you're fine.
no, you're good.
Oh, 'cause,
Continue on.
I just thought maybe. Never mind. The signs now there are kind of like 3 quotes. I don't know exactly how I should, explaining this, but one signs now quote is for one size. And I can't see that at all, so I have no idea.
This
Mhm.
one,
Which one
47
it
by
is?
75.
All right.
78 by 104. Where do you see 37 by 104?
Oh, I think.
About 4 lines down.
By 104?
Look about 4 lines
Yeah.
down.
It's 37 by 75 is the overall actual sign size.
Okay, you're down. Okay, the pedestal and everything is up here. And then you were down here.
37, two.
Why is it
First
so
one.
overall high?
78 by
One's the
104,
screen size.
overall 37 by
All
75.
right.
So
Structure.
it's for 37.
Yeah,
By
70,
75.
78
Yeah.
by 104.
That's the
No,
overall.
there's
37,
actually just the
75.
sign I
Okay.
was looking at.
Yeah.
Overall.
37
They're having the same.
by 75.
Yeah, the 37 by 75 is the actual display, right?
It should be very close to that screen.
Yeah,
Right.
because it says the overall size is 78 by 104.
Right. And so that's one, and the other signs now is the other side.
25 by 75.
Yeah.
I actually asked if they could show us a picture, of each one, so you could kind of compare and contrast. But
Yeah, so here,
That's the 37.
yeah, 37 and 8.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be that Blackhawk community and the Davis Bank one. Those are probably the 2 kind of differences. Because one looks like long and thin.
I like that better. I like the one that looked like a TV stuck on a brick wall.
Yeah. Little curve on this one's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So those were 2 from the same
That's-
one, and the other company
Yeah, that
had
one.
its size.
But, like,
It's
up farther.
sign.
well, what-
How do you know which one is which? There's.
I know, that's what
This is the other one. This is the other company.
Right.
Here,
that's the one I was
you
looking at,
have
trying
to
to figure out
take an educated guess, but I'm going to guess based upon this one, this is 25.
25.
by the
Yeah.
by 75.
Yeah, 25.
That one looks about the 25. That one looks like
37.
37. That one looks like it's like 12.
Yeah.
That looks like
25.
25.
So what was the other one, the last one? What was the size of that sign? I don't recall.
The last this
Yeah,
one
there.
here.
25 by,
Let me see if
It'll
the,
be half the signs is 25.
It's just
'Cause
one.
the top is static, right? The Davis
Yeah.
Street.
the active display area is 21 by 74.
Oh, there you
Just
go.
scroll back up to where it shows the 2 curves. Keep going up. No more,
That one?
no farther. There.
This is the drawings for.
No, I know,
Yeah.
go up. Wanna see what it says for sign on that? But does it show what size the screen is on that left one?
That one is 20.
Zoom, you got?
Community Bank one, that says that one is 25.2 by 88.
Yeah, see, I don't think
Okay,
they're just giving you examples, but you have to go by,
If we can get one like that right-hand Blackhawk Community Bank one, but in bigger screen.
Like this.
Yeah, with the bigger screen.
I think that's probably the 75 one.
Yeah, but it's like.
25 by
inches,
75.
Yeah, as opposed to
37 by 84, and that's 25 by 75. I like that design if we get the bigger screen in it.
The,
I don't like the curve.
oops.
That looks very utilitarian.
Welcome to the village of Davis Junction.
Stop. John's on pizza for a second.
so, what's the price for the 37 is, 37-inch was 37,200 for signs now, is that what it was?
Wait 1 second.
The Blackhawk community one was 31 by 104 is the actual screen size.
220.
And then 25 is what?
33,
One.
175.
175, and the
Those
other
bigger sign.
was only
88.
21. And that was, how much was my last one?
What's your recommendation?
You know, I don't have a recommendation because, you know, actually, if I was gonna go with one, I'd probably go. Go ahead.
30.
Yeah, all right, 33.
That's the Stewart.
Yeah. If I was, and this is just me, if I was going to do it, I would do it with I assume Signs Now is a more local company, because they
They
got,
are.
Yes.
they got back to us a lot
They're a
quicker than the other
franchise.
people.
Yeah,
And,
they just installed Stillman Valleys last year.
all right, so if I understand this correctly, then, theirs is to force to take ours down and then build it back up anew, right? Because you talked to them, I didn't.
I did not talk to them.
I thought you got the
Sure.
first quotes.
You talked to Erica, who talked to them. Didn't you come in and ask that of Erica?
No, because I thought you got I just asked her for the
Oh.
pictures.
I've
Sounds
asked
like
her
we
to
should bring it.
feed 0 votes. This includes removal and disposal of existing signs.
Well, there you go. So if I have a recommendation, I say we go with 37,220 and get the bigger sign and be done with it. And a local company, so they're more,
Hands-on here.
right, well, they're just easier to deal with because
Yep.
they're much closer. The other guy's from like Florida, and he can't even give me the firm price because he doesn't know what's under there. I assume that Signs Now, came out and took a look at it. If
They
didn't,
did.
then they're,
So the only thing that I'm hearing from Rick is that he'd like a different design style than what they've provided us with the
That's up
quote.
to the board.
I like that Blackhawk community, the
Little more
curve kind of one. No?
I don't even know if it necessarily needs a curve, but I do understand what
How
we're
about a
saying.
Steinway?
This is very just, here's the sign as opposed to some decorative
Even just an arch.
stance to it.
Unless it doesn't have to curve all the way down, just an arch.
yeah, I'm not picky, so it makes no difference to me.
If you want to wait 2 weeks, I'm happy to give Erica authority to
That-
call them and see what they can come up design wise.
Yes.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Glenda.
Is the planter box staying or going?
I was just gonna say.
Going.
Going.
Then we
You're
can
in.
make the sign look nice. We don't have anything else to draw attention, and we need the sign.
I don't really understand why somebody would put bushes in front of the sign in the first place. It's kind of silly to me, but whatever. Maybe they were small when they started and they,
Yeah.
but you didn't pursue
They don't
that
get
one. or
traction.
what?
That way they grow up big enough by the time the sign
So-
fails to block it.
If she could get us, sorry, I don't know, we're quoting the people to death, but if she could get us one, two different, with the bigger sign, two different,
Style.
different styles of the,
Like the
Housing.
curve.
Signs
The
don't
housing?
have the
yeah,
curve.
if she could get us two different styles of the housing. And
Well, they
then
don't-
we could make the decision and go with that.
Do you have something, Jen, that you would like to see?
Well,
Or-
what I'm like thinking is with the curve is if we could get something like, obviously like that, but like with the bigger screen,
Right.
not the narrow,
I wouldn't want
The
the curve unless
25
you
by
have a bigger
75.
screen in it.
Right.
right?
Oh, yeah.
This with the big screen.
We can do the sign up
Or-
higher than Davis Junction below it too. I mean,
Put the sign up here and then Village of Davis Junction down along.
yeah, I mean, or something to kind of,
Something like
I mean, because then,
variation of it,
yeah.
like a variation of,
Yeah, 'cause
The bigger-
We wouldn't need the third line of text in there, so you.
No.
make it
No.
more-
Just two choices though,
Okay.
Yes.
because otherwise it gets too cumbersome.
People, well, you can make Village Hall really.
With the curve, Jen?
I don't mind the curve if we can have the bigger digital part.
I will ask her to get a quote for that for our next meeting in 2 weeks.
Excellent.
That's great.
Perfect.
And I'll tell the people.
Because obviously Black Hawk community, I think, is too big.
Oh, it's ginormous.
It takes
Yeah.
a while.
But obviously they're advertising a business.
Right.
versus-
Yeah, we don't have to advertise the business, because
Yeah.
A lag time
I'll-
for the sign.
people gotta know where they're at when they
I'll
turn
ask
the
her.
corner.
They might not.
Oh, you wanna get.
Incorporate the train
A
kind of.
lot of them have no idea there was a train here, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. that.
Preparation.
We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that plastered everywhere. How'd they miss?
It's a lot of words up there.
It's not like, you know.
Where don't we have that?
All right,
What's throwing me off. This-
who are we on?
Finance.
Oh, okay, Chris.
Oh, yeah, he just.
But that should be it for me unless we have something else.
All right. Bill?
No updates at this time, but I did go to that
Oh, Lord.
economic Ogle County Economic Development meeting. Do I talk about it in here or should I wait till we get down to economic development?
Probably should have talked about.
if
it.
it's right now, it should be anything associated with your committee.
Well, then we'd have to wait down
Mhm.
till we get down to the economic development.
All right,
Okay, thank you.
Skip that.
Parks?
As you can see in the packet, there was something about a new village hall. Sandy brings it up almost it's every meeting. Billy brought it up before he left. I took a tour around this building a couple weeks ago.
It's pretty,
Now I'd like to bring it up because this building scares the living daylights out of me a little bit.
this building or that building?
They're connected.
I understand they're connected.
The parasite is on your body. It belongs to you and is part of you too. So it just, there's a whole lot going on. We're looking at stairs options over there for the other building too. There's, I mean, as you can see with the upkeep and everything else that's going on here too. It's going to be so much to keep this going and to limp it through. And that eventually we need something more serious. I know that's not really in our budget, or is it like, it's the easiest thing to work into our plans at this current moment, but it's something we probably should start focusing on and coming up with ideas, choosing a place, maybe just starting the process of growing from here. I mean, at this point, this is something that's going to become a necessity soon. I'd rather do it before it's an emergency. Or at least get the ball rolling before it's an emergency.
I plan for a future, but
With the amount of work that building needs,
Tear it down.
I'm for tearing it down. In the meantime, we'll get a comfort trailer in here for Sandy so she don't lose her bathroom. And you build the new village hall right next to this. We've got the land right there. Once that building's gone, you've got land.
So
Buy the White House when it comes up for sale someday.
Nathan,
At this current moment, the proposed idea is that we use the lot that's next to the Dollar General that we already possess.
Actually, we've looked at 3 spots for it.
Yeah, but currently we're gonna propose this one. I mean, we can all come and discuss this afterwards, but right now we propose there. I would, the one I recommend would be the option that butts it up to the Dollar General. That way it covers the back of the Dollar General. It beautifies our town a little bit. It's also in the center of town. It's right before, it's all by all of our utilities. It's by the park. This also gives 44 new parking spots for things that go on in the park. So it takes care of some of the opportunities that we might have when we host things or we have things. This opportunity gives us parking. We're not having to go and park everybody for our, or the village things. That's 44 parking spots. That's a lot, So, I mean, that's a good start in that realm too. It's not included on here, but I'd like to see like EV charging stations potentially for the growing EV use, things of that nature. That's not on here, but that's just something that
Grant funding for that.
there can,
Right,
yes,
yeah.
there's a lot of grant funding for that right now. So that's something that wouldn't
Right.
necessarily be in our budget or have to come out of our budget. And I don't know if we haven't looked into any grants or nothing on this right now. This is just a preliminary. Let's chat about it. There's a couple locations that are available. This is what I proposed at the current moment. I mean, I think it was proposed that it was out by the current next project potentially. And I think there was another one that was
Water treatment.
Yeah.
plant.
the water treatment
And
plant, right?
I understand wanting to build over there for those reasons, but we also, that does not do anything to address the needs of that building.
The current needs.
There's 4 spots
Well,
potentially.
if you're building.
That
a
would
new
still
building,
have to be done.
So, but the problem with that is we need a secure place for the documents that we have, and putting us in a trailer is not a secure
Be a
location.
trailer for a bathroom until we get the building built.
Okay,
That's what her concern was. Where's her bathroom go?
then we're talking tear down and rebuild, and I just think that the cost and all that is gonna be similar when it's all said and done to what we're working with. And we're also doing upgrades and things like that to keep the current situation we have going. So why would we invest money in that and then tear it down 2 seconds later? That doesn't make any sense. This is just an opportunity that's a space that we can continue to live, or at least my recommendation would be whatever we do would be to use a location that is empty already or that has an opportunity. That way we don't have a hiccup. I mean, if tearing that down has an emergency or something like that, then we're out of this building, then we had to figure something out. And I'd rather not be put in that position.
If we were to build somewhere else, what would you do to this building then?
Sandy brought up using it for a community center, being able to rent it out or at least provide it for, activities for the village.
If it's in that sad of shape, why would we?
This side,
This side, that side would be taken.
What are we doing with that side?
But
It's
the-
still there.
the Historical Society has actually shown interest in assisting in recouping it back to its original schoolhouse.
With their donations from somebody other than the village?
They have the ability to access grants as a historical organization that we do not,
I say you give them the whole building.
Yep.
which it was also discussed.
That would be okay too.
That would be a good-
My concern is if that building doesn't come down, you have to do something with it.
And if that's the case, then we want to give them the whole place. I'm fine with that too.
So these
So,
were also discussions I had with the Historical Society when we originally started talking. Open to those discussions. They were open to looking at the access to grants that they have as a historical organization that we as a government entity do not have access to.
and I had them quote out like the brick facade on here and everything else. It's it's a really nice building. There are ways of saving to.
If you went through the tour, you probably saw some of the construction techniques used to fill in the windows
Yeah,
and
or board over, or yeah.
that's gonna be hard to recall.
It's a lot of.
But if it's somebody else's expense,
Yes, and if someone
Not a
else wants to
donation
have it
from the village.
and make it beautiful again, or if we want to make it, do something for it later, I mean, those are all options. We have oogles of time to figure all that stuff out. The focus now would be to start kind of, as we grow, have a building that can grow with us.
And I did discuss, Rick, that
Thank
you
you.
felt that what'd you call it, brick over block?
Where's the money?
brick over block construction because you're.
So what Nathan has recommended to, or has asked Matt for too, is also the brick over block construction, which would also give our employees a safer place during a shelter.
Well, that's mainly because of
Yeah.
that, because the lifetime of that building then becomes 99 years.
Yeah,
That of what frame?
you're just all you're doing is replacing windows, doors and roof.
Exactly,
And maybe
You-
some.
you
tuck
get
pointing over.
bang-
We're
Look.
not, we'll be dead.
yeah,
We'll
so,
all be gone.
I mean, it's a sound and a longevity item that we would be creating here, so.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. But no matter what we do, somebody's got to address that. And if it means we give the building to the historic
Yeah.
center, I'm great with that.
Yep, I mean, those are all options. Once we have something else planned and going, we can easily make arrangements and agreements, to let someone else have this or to figure out something together or whatever we decide to do with this.
No.
Maybe there'll be someone else that wants it to restore it or something like that. Who knows?
I mean, if we're building a new village hall, there's no together on restoring this. The village needs,
I mean,
We wouldn't have the
grants are
money.
gonna Become available from now until then. I mean,
Unless we get a
Obviously.
grant, we currently cannot afford.
yeah, I was gonna say, we wouldn't have it
Correct.
unless you get the grants.
If anybody wants to look into a grant or has any knowledge of
Yeah,
something we could
yeah.
apply for to build a new village hall, please
Without a
forward
doubt.
it to me. I will be happy to look into it.
Matt, will you keep your eyes open
Yeah.
and ears for what's out there?
Yeah, absolutely, especially if and never mind, I'll tell them that later.
I mean, USDA has some money for community facilities. But I don't know if that one would include, I know they have loans for it, but I'm not sure if they have grant components and stuff to it. And then we'd have to take a look, because if it does have a grant component, they still look at median household income for the community, and that probably works against you a little bit, because Davis Junction is, you know, at least for a road on the higher end, yes, but I can check.
The idea of this too, though, if we go with the park projects, is that prices don't go down. You know, and if we drag our feet on things and we wait till things are emergencies or that we have to do stuff, it becomes very costly. So
Something to look into for grants, Mr. I'll look into anything. The EOC, if we move its center location from the fire department to the village hall, we might be able to convince them to also assist in grant donation for that purpose, as long as we move the EOC operations center over there as well. Just a thought.
And the other option too is, talk to it is public facility, maybe talk to your state or federal reps. They've got appropriations. You get to the federal level, it's a lot more competitive at the federal level to get appropriations, but they all have money in their wallet. It's just a matter of whether you can get it coming your way.
I mean, I think we start at least looking. So it doesn't hurt us to start looking and being proactive. I mean,
And if you're wanting to build something new and you think this has still, the Historic Society thinks it has some historic value to it and want to restore it, if you could combine the two together, it might be something that you could sell to a representative to get behind. You got, usually with these grants, you got to show the need and you got to create a compelling story that they want to kind of get behind and put their name behind.
And restoring the original schoolhouse for the Village of Davis Junction would actually be something they might be able to get behind it in conjunction with moving us out.
Which is that half.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, and this is the addition from the 1950s,
So you could restore that one and then build something here, is that?
or
what-
restore this to the
to
gymnasium.
the gym that it was. They got
Yeah.
gym windows up there that are
Yeah.
original. That
Oh,
are
yeah.
put up the wall. So I guess
These windows go all the way up.
Scary all at the same time.
They're still there.
Then that would help us get the need for a new village hall.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
understand.
And so we're giving
Just-
something back to the community by also filling the need for,
Yeah, you just kind of tie the two together and,
Yep.
I mean, your primary goal is to get a new village hall, but if you can tie the two together and get some support.
If you look on the outside of this building, you'll see there's the brown metal area above the windows. Those are actually where the gym windows go up.
It's pretty awesome.
They're just behind.
Oh,
You go upstairs, you can see them.
Watch where you walk.
And that was the color of the gym too,
Yeah.
the green.
Yeah, it's awesome. But anyways, it's something I think that is something that we have to start doing. That's something that it's not something that we should be waiting on it. So as far as that goes, that's about it for that. I think as of right now, does anyone else have any opinions? Anyone a hard no at this moment? I mean, obviously, if we get funding and things of that nature, would anyone be opposed to this as of now? I don't want to spin my wheels and do a bunch of work and then reach a bunch of opposition or something.
When you say funding.
As far as the layout,
Free money, the free money, when you say
It's
funding.
never free, it's a.
I mean,
Wow.
whatever handshake that we have to do to get this
Yeah.
money, but
A $3 million grant.
a grant that we have to find
Well,
out.
something like that, well, certainly,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if we could get, I mean,
Who knows?
I mean, we're doing all this work for the park too. Be nice
We've been
that
lucky.
as that project finishes up, maybe that we have another project this project's finishing up and then we completed quite a, bookend area here.
We've been lucky on grants, wasn't it?
Anything, it's now is a good time.
I know, so,
but I do agree with Nathan with the
yeah.
with the two and the options 2 and 4, I believe. With the building on the west side, that
we saw these two options.
Okay.
Nathan liked these two.
okay.
Yes. I mean, there's plenty other options the way to, stance it, so.
But those are the ones we kind of prefer as well. We think the building on the west side of the lot makes the most sense. We looked on the north,
Wouldn't be-
south and west and with
Oh,
it doesn't make sense on up against 72 because the backside of the building is going to be facing out to 72 and that doesn't make any sense there. So
Nathan also point out that when you pull into the parking lot, you'd be staring at the back end of Dollar General.
yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think anyone really wants to, or if you put it on the inside track, then everyone who parks for the park now has to walk around And it's just, this kind of puts you pretty close and,
Cause is that going out? Yeah. That's going
yeah,
out.
there's a
That
culvert
says-
that would be on the other side of there that would be closest to the park.
But no,
separate
that's-
shaded
Ready,
park.
you ready to be called tree killer?
That says
Yeah, it's-
Bodie Street.
Yeah, there's quite a few
A
trees
lot of
on
those
that.
trees over there.
Yeah,
look like
no,
they're
all the
falling,
water-
right?
They weren't even knocked anyway.
Yeah, the water retention, all those lots, the retention was designed for all those regionally.
Above the dotted line?
Yep, yep. So all your lots that you guys own, Rick,
Make sure well, I
Yep.
I know it's on the north side of the lot, so I want to
Yep.
make sure it was counted for.
They're still working
I
out.
figured you guys would remember.
Yep.
I do like the additional 44 lots that can be
Not very
used in
good.
the park. I think that they benefit them on the
The-
weekends as
the
well,
smell still-
or even for tonight,
Or for fireworks.
or for
Just Pull
fireworks.
right up and walk.
Yep.
I don't know.
No.
Alright.
Right, not on here, but I had, working on some stair options for next door too, so that will be more affordable. I'm just waiting for the revisions to be sent back to me,
Oh,
on
for the
a new
deck.
cost, yes, for the deck.
Can I ask a silly question?
No,
Constantly.
And I know despite the fact we're using the downstairs for storage, couldn't we swap it? Put the tent downstairs, put the storage upstairs, we build no stairs? What's wrong with that idea? It saves
Still
money.
have to have it, don't you?
You know that's.
then we could close it up, then we could board that up then, and then we would.
Just swap. the-
Nobody needs, lives up to you. You don't have to have that emergency.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah,
We can
that's
paint his apartment before we move
excellent
him.
idea.
We could paint that real quick, make it look halfway decent, and it wouldn't cost us next to
Honestly,
nothing.
it has a new washer dryer in it, a decent oven, stove, or.
Unless he's opposed to moving downstairs.
I mean,
but
if that's the option you guys want to do, I'm happy to talk to the tenant.
That saves money. Well, that saves
I-
you money.
I would be very on board with that if he approves of the, like, after touring whatever downstairs, and if he approves of
Same
the.
thing.
It's the same apartment,
We're the
isn't
same,
it?
aren't they?
They're,
Square foot.
I want to say the back's a little bit.
yeah,
different.
they're switched a little bit for the most parts.
Cause we could paint it, carpet it. I mean, you could, cheap.
Oh, now would be way cheaper even.
Yeah, way cheaper.
I'm
Don't
Yeah.
offer it, but if you
Yeah.
have
Have
to.
the conversation with the
I
tenant.
mean, this metal staircase I'm looking at just got really expensive all of a sudden.
Then you can use that money.
To make sure it did pass codes and things of that nature, so I would be very, this is a way
I'll
better,
talk to
Very
the tenant.
rubber.
So do I.
great idea, John.
You could put the money somewhere else.
Oh, I love it, yeah. Put it
Alright.
towards the village hall more.
It happens every once in a while.
Anybody opposed to that idea? I think that's.
No, I think
No,
it's,
it's-
yeah,
Talk to 'em.
Yep.
and
great
since
idea.
we're on the
so
subject,
simple.
on the subject of Village Hall here real quick. And I don't remember how it ever came up, but it was New Milford built their Village Hall, very, very affordable.
It's a Morton building.
Is that why it was
Yep.
affordable?
There was some choices that were originally done up by
they had a
Matt's
basement.
group, and they had a Morton building in there and some other stuff that was designed, and I just, now that we've had how many tornadoes rip through near us, I mean, do we really want a Morton
But it
building
had a
with all of our
basement.
important
I believe
stuff?
That has a basement.
And Rick said something very key, which is longevity
Longevity.
of the building.
Yeah.
And so
Your maintenance
Brick over
becomes,
block, we've got 99 years of use where we are now.
Yeah,
That's why we started building every building, I mean,
It's
it
an
was
option.
Matt that brought it up to us.
We just save money on stairs.
Sure.
Because well two was, brick over frame.
You could do the
And
same
then-
color as Dollar General.
It went
you know, but
poof.
I
prefer not to.
You have one more item on here?
I do. I don't know too much about this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
I'll talk on this
you
one
want to
then.
do that? Yeah.
So,
I was like, you got all. Okay.
so the next item on there underneath Nathan is kind of quasi Nathan, but Nate Hill did the work with Weaver for these quotes, which is why I just stuck it underneath there. These are the quotes to repair the park pavilion roof, the concession stand roof, well building number 2 roof, and the soffits here at Village Hall. These are all prevailing wage rates, which is why they are larger, but I did put Kenzie in the front because they are the cheapest to do the work that we need. It would require a waiving of competitive bidding.
That covered by insurance.
It will,
Should be.
it for
Yeah.
reimbursement, but
Right.
we're gonna have to cover.
The soffits were damaged.
That's
during
fine.
this-
No, I understand that, but we.
Oh, there's a
should-
big
Yeah.
gaping hole
Should
over
be,
here.
yes.
Yes,
Right.
we should be able to be reimbursed for all of this.
Right.
He asked if there was stuff that's redundant. There was a big gaping hole.
So this is on the agenda for approval, for waiver of competitive bidding and approval of the quote for repair of those things and from Kenzie for 25,250, but somebody would have to make that motion.
You wanna do it?
Yeah, I'll just make the motion.
Fine.
Do I need a
Number.
number or anything?
You do not.
Okay.
So you're just
A
gonna make a
motion.
motion.
So I just
Not
make a
right.
motion
Not right.
to waive, to waive the competitive bidding and approval of quote for repair and community park pavilion concession stand roof, well building number 2 roof and village hall soffit.
From Ken's.
From Ken's Z Roofing
Roofing, yep.
In the amount of
And
$25,000.
the amount of
25,250.
25,250, correct?
I'll reiterate.
Second,
You got it? All right.
why not?
Nathan makes a motion to waive competitive bidding and approve quote for repair to community park pavilion, concession stand roof, well building number 2 roof and village hall soffit to Ken Z Roofing in the amount of $25,250. Is there any discussion? It's money. Roll call.
John,
Yeah.
Nathan,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Motion passes. 7:55.
That is all I have.
Streets.
Brett, do you have anything additional?
No, just kind of business as usual right now.
No, that's it, right?
Utilities.
Brett?
Filters. Just, kind of go over, I mean, obviously, all of you approved it, but just to give everybody kind of a heads up here, well, there's a lot of, on the consent agenda. Anyway, the WQI quote, that all of you approved, just so everyone knows, we did treat the filter, shock the filter, whatever you want to call it again last week. I spoke with Pat about this the other day. It did not work. So, what you approved is basically, we're going to go a little more in depth with sampling. Matt was a huge help. He got a bunch of information for us, well, too, that we have to send to WQI. So this is going to take us a little bit deeper and try to figure out what is going on and how to basically attack the biofilm. So just so you understand what that was.
So we're still looking at those options, replacing that or whatever now? Are we is that where we're moving towards now, that this didn't work?
Replacing
The
media?
The media or whatever that's.
No, not yet. No,
Not yet. We're not at that point yet. Okay.
no, not yet. Hopefully we don't get there. Yeah.
We're not going the other
You're still
direction. right
regenerating
now,
the
so-
filter just as often?
Yes, we are still backwashing
You know how you know
after
that?
every run.
That's too
So-
cheap.
Yeah.
So anyway, just so everybody understood what that was about.
Get pastries, utilities, economic development.
Yes. On May 22nd, 23, I attended that meeting for the Ogle County Economic Development Corp with Chris Mannheim, referenced the forming of the nonprofit corporation, and they're busy reviewing and updating and changing and finalizing the bylaws so they can set up their corporation right away. And that should be done early sometime in June. That's it.
All right.
I
Anybody
have
have
nothing else to add to the economic development.
anything on unfinished business from anyone?
I had one more item, right? No one likes to be inconvenienced, and whether we could tell him to move downstairs or move out, which we certainly don't want to do that. So maybe as an incentive, and Sandy can use her discretion, for the inconvenience, just throw in a month's rent free. We're not making any money off that, and it's not about this. I don't know what it's about the rent.
If
'Cause
everybody's-
at the end of the day, that saves us.
And then if we need to move the flower stuff to.
But what I'm saying is,
Stuff down.
at the end of the day, that just saves us an awful lot of extra work on stairs. It helps him out for the inconvenience, and it's just probably the nice neighborly thing to do for a tenant who's been
Mhm.
as loyal and faithful to us as he has.
Yes, John changes.
If anybody-
That's a great idea.
if everybody's all right with that, it's within the purview of spending, so we could just do it.
Yeah,
Good.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it solves any inconvenience, new
Personally, I don't think
furniture,
we should
sheets,
have a
whatever.
problem Moving downstairs, but I don't mind.
Well, the joys
Oh.
are. that
Some people might want
That
to
is
be
probably a
upstairs.
good point to bring up, by the way.
The joys are is that apartment is solely managed by the streets trustee. According to our ordinances,
Oh.
but the other issue is
The
the
streets are supposed to do buildings.
so we passed that ordinance. When the downstairs apartment was renting for $50 more a month than the upstairs
Believe the
apartment.
rent is-
I just wanted to verify you were okay leaving rent the
Is
same.
everybody okay leaving the rent the same with the
Yes.
people downstairs? Okay.
Yes.
Did you change more than that?
Yes.
He's gonna be our last
Huh?
tenant, period.
Yes, agreed.
Sorry.
No, I agree.
And I
No, no, that, it doesn't work in the village hall movement.
I guess the other thing is, maybe, to me, it was just a given, but we'll be able to move his stuff for him. Brett, is that something we can get done for him? Move Sandy's stuff's out, move his stuff down, then Sandy's stuff's gotta go up.
The seasonal park guy will love that work.
We just need the village to help him move since we're the one initiating. Is that okay with you? Okay.
Maybe, like Sandy said.
Are you in?
No, you should be.
Talk to the other supervisors.
No, we shouldn't be.
I'd like to.
It's a liability.
Yeah.
Outside the meeting.
Oh,
It's a liability.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be.
well, what if he says, who's gonna move me? Then where are we at?
Well,
We're gonna
let's not
pay
talk
the-
about that
We'll,
in our
we'll
meeting.
figure this detail out later.
Free rent, he can move himself. How's that? You might not have a lot. I
For a
don't-
free month, you can hire somebody to.
Well, we're gonna have to figure out coordination between moving the stuff out and him moving his stuff down. So when that coordination's figured out,
Shouldn't take.
we'll.
But anyway, all right.
All right.
Sandy, we'll get.
Under unfinished business,
Unfinished business.
with the Verizon, I emailed Dan about us, getting permission from Verizon to fix the landscaping and that. And Dan emailed me back and he wants to know what issues we are looking to correct. And he wants to know if there are new ones or ones we've already raised before, because he wants to explain in a detailed letter.
The ones we had before, they have
Okay.
not changed.
Okay,
There's been no action since. then.
With the exception of we're not gonna do anything to the stuff on the tower.
right, we're just talking about
Ground level.
landscaping.
Yeah, but
Landscaping.
the fence and the landscaping have
Yes.
been deteriorating.
Okay,
and
that's,
we're
I just wanted to make sure
that's
before
it.
I emailed him back.
Yep, fence
Okay.
and landscaping.
That's all I have.
Matt.
Oh, and
Do it one thing.
on Verizon?
No,
One more?
sorry.
Okay,
As soon as Jen was done.
so that was for Rick, not me.
Well, no, I'm just saying, cause I.
You know,
Oh, him, okay, yeah.
You're good.
Go ahead, Brett.
Just real, back to the digital sign. Do we want to wait until everything is approved? The board says, yes, go for it? Or
He's asking.
can I have permission to tear that planter bed out?
Tear it
Yeah,
out.
It's gotta come out anyway.
If you have the time to do it now, because,
We're all good with that?
yeah.
Because I will so make it happen.
All right, if we have the time to do it now, let's do it now. 'cause-
Stacy asked me what's gonna happen to the flower beds. I said they're gonna become concrete.
Okay, all right, that is going. Sounds great.
They'll make it easier to fall.
There's some good news for you.
I was saying, the whole block, I'm heading over.
Except
All
the
right,
flagpole
perfect,
stays
thank you.
right now.
Yes.
I just wanna make sure while we're ripping things out, we don't rip out the flagpole yet.
I did reach out, did reach out to all of you about being approached for items or ideas for donations. I got some really good ideas from some of you. Just to let you know, I'm gonna reach out to her Thursday. If you guys have any more ideas, to ask them if they wanna pony up money, by all means. I think everything from local food, local, Rochelle area charities to sponsoring.
Is this from the
Fields.
solar people?
Yes.
You saw my note that Nathan had suggested that they also could make donations to park equipment,
Yep.
millions.
I mean, since there's not a bike path around there, they could,
Yeah,
and our park needs some project help, so.
I would love to see a bike path up to 251.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they own a lot of land over there.
They do.
So, I mean.
We could almost get there.
Right away.
I would love to see.
And there's money out there for recreational. land.
So,
Through- Yeah,
yeah,
There's a lot of.
public,
Getting-
yeah.
I'll be the first one to be the tree hugger and say I don't want any trees down. However,
I didn't say tree hugger, doesn't be labeled a tree killer.
it's a tree killer. Okay, I do agree, however, that you do need the 44 extra parking places. What was the generator for that was approved?
Public Works Building.
That's the new one, or that's the one to install one at Public Works Building. Currently, there is no generator out there, so when we lose power, they have to manually open those large overhead bay doors.
And we can't.
And we
fuel.
can't pump fuel because there's no generator out there.
That makes sense. Also, what's up with Davis Park? It looks terrible.
Community park?
That would be.
Yeah.
So Davis Park over here.
Davis
Okay.
Park, it looks like
Gotcha.
somebody sprayed weed killer on stuff.
Well, our parks guy does not spray weed killer unless
No, no.
absolutely necessary.
No, I didn't, we.
I'll mention
They-
it to
they
him
didn't
though
weed-
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anything further?
I'm done.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Dan makes motion to adjourn, Chris seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
Tell pictures.
No nays.
He's not trying to
We're adjourned at 8:05.
drop bombs. He's gotta check on